Stare down. Oh man. Hi everybody. Welcome to episode 67 of Michigan Brews. This week is going to be our Kalamazoo Craft Beverage Week show. Not Kalamazoo Beer Week, Kalamazoo Craft Beverage Week. We celebrate all of the poisons in Kalamazoo this week.
Should actually keep track of how many times we call it Kalamazoo Beer Week.
I think I've caught myself and caught you a couple times.
Then somebody's going to start telling us to take shots each time, and I don't. That's.
For those of you who are listening on the podcast later, not watching live with us, we have a couple guests tonight. Jordan, is with us. He's
Hi.
Yeah. But no, we also have Chad Lanning and John Liberty. Chad is from Saugatuck Brewing, correct?
Yep, Saugatuck Brewing.
And then John's here to talk to us about the Kalamazoo Craft Beverage Week a little bit as well. So normally what we do when we start the show, before we get too much into it, is kind of ask everybody that's listening live. We have like 7 people right now, which is about average so far for 2 minutes into the show. But what's everybody drinking tonight? Chad, I saw you chugging out of a bottle there earlier.
Yeah, I only have a few of these left. It's literally one of my most favorite beers. It's Short's Spruce Pilsner.
Oh, yeah.
This, you either love it or you hate it, and I love this beer.
Is that a seasonal release from them?
So, historically, yeah, that's how it was. And then this is the second year in a row. So they were doing it in standalone 6-packs. And I'm all for it. As soon as I'd see it on the shelves, I would buy as much as I could. And then they went from that to their 12-pack variety packs. And I'm like, I love Shorts, don't get me wrong. But it's like, I don't want those ones. I want Spruce Pilsner.
Yeah.
And so anytime I would just on Facebook or something, like, put Spruce Pilsner back in standalone 6s, and they finally did it last year, and I bought a whole case. And then this year I was like, I'll just get a 6-pack, and then I got another 6-pack, and then so I got another case, and then so it's usually this November, December, I think is when it comes out. This was packaged November 3rd, so it's a couple months old, but with that much pine in there, it's fine.
That's fine.
I'll hunt around a little bit. I haven't had that in years now.
I
thought that maybe they stopped making
it. Yeah, but it was a lot smaller of a batches, I'm guessing, when they were throwing it in the variety packs. But that's a good one.
Sweet. John, you got anything in the glass tonight?
Yeah, I grabbed Presidential's Executive Order number 4, which is kind of big for a Monday night.
Which one was that? There was a sour that was one of them. I can't remember what 4 was.
This is I'll read the description of a big Boss Imperial Stout that began with a robust Imperial Stout, then was aged for 8 months in a Basil Hayden bourbon barrel. Kiss of vanilla finishes out its delightfully sweet and boozy flavor profile.
That sounds like the perfect beer for a Monday night, honolly.
Absolutely.
Screw the beginning of the week. That's how
it's cold and shitty out. That's going to be a nice warmer.
An old dark horse.
Nice.
Bunch of
that was a few weeks ago or a couple months now where we decided to do cellar beers, and I think both Brian and I started out with like 18%. I had Worldwide, and you had something else big and crazy.
I don't remember. Yeah.
Wait, when was this?
I think it was one of the nights you skipped on us. It was back before Christmas.
We're talking about cellar beers. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, if it's anything, 2 weeks past, it doesn't get stored.
But it's just when you're starting out the night after work, cracking an 18% Worldwide stout. It's not. You're not going to have a great night.
Or it's going to be a great night.
Or yeah.
So is this another one of the episodes where you guys went a little 2 sheets and I was absent?
Sure. What do you got, Jason? And Gerald in chat. He's drinking his Scotch ale.
Always. Actually, I should go get Gerald Scotch ale from my fridge downstairs. But right now I'm double fisting because As usual, it's hams.
Yes. Love some ham bones.
But I'm finishing a Guinness too. So, yeah, I've been so busy. I haven't had a chance to. Well, I tell you about it. I've brewed more this year than I have at this time last year. I've brewed twice this year, but I didn't get to brew pretty much at all in the fourth quarter. So I'm completely out of home brew. So I'm just working my way through another suitcase of hams.
You got something going, right, though?
So I do. We were lagering for the first time, doing a lager, actually lagering. And I got a Czech dark lager going in the basement. And my keys are it's probably done, but I'm in no hurry. I'm going to give it another week or two before I bring it out, and then give it another couple of weeks. So it's been fun. And then I just did we were talking about Klob earlier. Chad used to be in Klob.
Yeah, I forgot to sign up.
Just did my Klob barrel, or got my Klob barrel beer yesterday. Thanks for sending that home for me, Brian.
Yeah.
So I got a 5-gallon barrel of some freaky sour, and I'm told that I have all the dregs from the barrel.
You got some chunkies. Yeah,
that was the last one, or I wasn't there, so I got sent home with the shit. So it's all good.
I hear that has some of the best flavor, honestly. Like I don't know who it was talking about. Somebody was talking about it at the swap, and they're saying that the chunkies are always more flavorful. I don't know. Maybe take it off the top. Well, what about you, Jordan?
Drinking New Holland's Light Point.
What is Light Point?
It's described as a functional white ale.
What does functional mean? Like low ABV? Like is it like the
3.75%. The description is white ale brewed with coconut water, raw honey, orange peel, and natural flavor.
Huh.
Yeah. It's supposed, it's something the wife picked up. Low calorie, whatever, 86 calories, 3.75%. Like, figure it's a good way to start off. We used to drink this a lot when they first came out with it, and she picked it up because she wanted some beer, and she wasn't a fan of it. So I guess it's mine now.
Can you get the coconut out of it?
A bit, yeah. A little bit.
Okay.
It does. It doesn't taste like it's pretty unique. But almost Belgian-y.
It's something that I've wanted to try before, like with peanuts. I wanted to boil peanuts for like 3 hours and then cool it down and skim all the fat and oils and stuff off of it, and then use that to make a beer with. But or a mead or something. That'll be a project for later in the year, maybe.
What?
I know it's not how like coconut water is made, but it just made me think.
Right. But like, you want to do like a peanut butter mead or something like that.
I don't know. I just want to boil peanuts and use the water.
Okay, so this is more of a boiled peanuts project than
make a porter out of it or something. We'll see.
All right, what do you got, Brian?
Just drinking some homebrew double IPA, and then I'm going to be crushing Celebrations for the rest of the night. If anybody is in Kalamazoo that's watching and wants some cheap Celebration, H&B Market over at Portage right now has 6-packs for $3 or 12-packs for $6.
Do they still have some?
Probably. The can date was, like mid-October, so it's not quite as fresh, as it would have been a couple months ago. But I mean, for $6, it's good beer.
That's a great beer.
Mm-hmm.
Even with a couple months on it, that's still a great beer.
It's more like a malty, a Midwest IPA at this point.
Yep.
And it's still super good.
So we got John Liberty from West Michigan Beer Tours repping Kalamazoo Beer Week for us. So he's the contact I reached out to. So thanks for jumping in, John. And then John helped us, get Chad landing on. Chad's and I'm going to get this right, cellar manager, and at the production facility, and pub brewer at the Kalamazoo Saugatuck Brewing operation. So
that is correct.
And then of course
split between facilities.
Yeah, so I basically work in Saugatuck, Douglas, every day, and then whenever something needs to get done in Kalamazoo, because it's more of like an R&D system kind of thing. So it's like, what do we want to brew? oh, we have some new hops. Let's try something on this and see what it's like, as opposed to doing like a 40 barrel batch up there.
Got it. Sweet.
So then, so Chad's here repping for Saugatuck. Of course, they've got some cool Kalamazoo Craft Beverage Week activities happening this week. We were hoping to have Tyler from Green Door Distilling because they've got a collab going, which I had mentioned in the post, but Tyler can't.
A little under the weather.
Under the weather, yeah. So best wishes go out to Tyler. Hopefully you can catch this later. But what are you guys doing with Green Door? What's the big reveal there?
So we wanted to do something, obviously, because it's not Kalamazoo Craft Beer Week anymore. What could we do with somebody local? So we were like, well, let's do something barrel aged. Let's do a barrel aged beer. And they were just getting ready to release a new bourbon, and they had those barrels available, and it was bourbon barrels that had aged cider previously.
Ooh,
and then they
cool.
took those barrels and then aged their bourbon in it. So their bourbon is a cider cask finished bourbon. And so we took those barrels. I got to pick which barrels I wanted. It. We only have a 5-barrel system down there, so I didn't need very many of them. So I took 3 barrels, 3 of the bourbon barrels, and we brewed, I don't really want to call it like a kitchen sink beer, but it was like Scotch ale, barley wine, American ale, kind of all of the above. It's just a big malty beer with a little bit of smoke malt in it, kind of thing. Kind of tried to pair with, what some of those flavors that are in that barrel, just kind of like accentuate it. So yeah, we made an 8.5% American strong ale and came out of barrels at about 9.5%.
Nice.
Very nice.
When is that going to be available and where?
So all of our pubs will have that beer on tap, but we are not going to tap that beer until after our event at Burdick's. So that is Tuesday, February 1st. I had to think about that for a second. At 6:30, we're doing this collaboration with Green Door. We're kind of having like a pairing with it, or kind of like beer deconstructed. I wish I could have had some of that beer unbarrel aged, so you could have had it, a shot of their whiskey, unbarrel aged beer, and then the finished product. But we're gonna do a little thing where it's like a shot of their cider cask whiskey, and then the beer as like a little pairing. So,
oh man, that's super cool.
Yeah, that's really neat.
The whiskey's fabulous. It's great. I was like, man, this is really good, smooth. You get that nice little sweetness from the cider that was in there before, and I think it was really good stuff, and I think it complements the beer that we brewed to put in there.
Do you get any of that like a sort of cidery aspect back in the beer or anything?
I would say sweetness, but not like
okay.
You're not going to get like this tastes like apple. I mean, there's like that sure. Apple, because you drink a beer and you're like beer. Apple, you're like, oh, off flavor, ding, you're just like, well, what is this? But no, it's cool because to me, it's like fall in a glass kind of thing. It's got some body. It's got some of that, obviously like vanilla and coconut from like the barrel. But it's got this like cider sweetness, and it just melded together really well. It's tasty. But at 9.5%, it's not going to completely knock your socks off too. See some of these barrel aged beers that are 10, 12 +%, and you're like, well, I'll have this much of it. You can have a full pour and should be able to drive still.
Depends on how many of the pairings you go back for, I guess.
Touche. Especially with the whiskey, it's like, give me another one.
So we're jumping around as usual, so it should probably back up. So Kalamazoo Craft Beverage Week this year officially kicks off, I believe, on the 28th, right, John?
Yeah, unofficially, and then all the posters say the 29th. So,
is it?
Yeah, January 29th through that February 6th. So basically gets both weekends in there. I think there's a couple sneaky Friday events on the 28th, and then part of it kicks up in the 26th. So.
I'm going off Final Gravity saying they're having the kickoff concert on Friday the 28th. So
Yeah. Well, you had those guys on last year, right? They're always needling, trying to get that first event out of the gate kind of thing every once in a while. So yeah, they may have gotten away with one there, but yeah.
So it pretty much encapsulates those both of those weekends, right?
Yeah, and there's a number of events throughout the course of the week. So a lot of what we talked about last year, there were a significant number of virtual events. There's not going to be too many of those, but some curbside options or things you can buy in advance and pick up if you rather enjoy them at home versus in sort of a tap room. But for the most part, there's a good number of in-person events. So, enjoy those as however you feel comfortable. There's some outdoor seating options too if people want to hang out outside for a little bit too. There's a lot of our beverage folks in town have adapted over the last couple of years and created some pretty cool winter outdoor spaces, and they're spending a ton of money on propane to keep you warm. So go help them out a little bit.
We froze over at Presidential. I think it was a couple of years ago when they first started doing that, sitting outside by the fire in 10-degree weather, eating pizza.
Oh yeah.
Brandon's saying the Bell Snow Jog is on Saturday.
Snow Jog is always cool, but it sells out way too fast.
Yeah, I think it even sold out before it was on the Kalamazoo Craft Beverage Week website.
Wow.
So.
Oh wow, that's. Yeah. I've always wanted to do it, but yeah, it's always it's one of those things like I can't ever get into it, and then also like I can always just freeze and jog in between beer places anyways, I guess. But
I mean, so I got to do Snow Jog once, and I think by the fourth or fifth one, I really, it was more of a stumble anyway. You're supposed to do an activity at every brewery or host location, I should say, and I don't even remember half of them. So, for those people that bought it, that's cool. For those people that didn't, you wouldn't remember what you did anyway. So. If you're
what is the Snow Jog? I've never done it.
Oh my god! So you run. You're supposed to run from there. I think the year I did it, there were like 12 locations. I don't know if that's changed. You know how many this year, John?
I'm not sure. I haven't. Once it sold out, I didn't look at it too closely. But yeah, it's a variety of stops.
So it's literally like pubs and bars and breweries all throughout Kalamazoo, and you run to each one. And then they each have, like Brandon said, a minute to win it type event, ring toss or, some little game that you have to play. And they have to buy a beer or you get a beer. And you drink your beer, do your game and go to the next one. But it literally takes you like from Bell's, up through like Louis and that area, all the way down to up and under in Waldo's.
Oh, holy shit.
Wow. Is Louis still up that direction? Like, not to detract, but because I saw that they have one in Texas Corners now.
Yeah, they just opened a second location over in Texas Corners.
Perfect. Awesome.
Yeah, no, it was pretty cool. So, I mean, and you don't have to, if you don't know the numbers, it's cool, man. We didn't get too much of a chance to coordinate because life is busy and shit happens. But it seems like there's a lot of newcomers. I'm seeing different names. So, COVID kind of put a damper on this. Have you seen, do you feel like it's done well this year? Or?
Yeah, I've spent the last couple of weeks talking to a lot of different folks and what they're planning and putting together. And one of the reasons why I wanted to have Chad to talk about the collaboration is kind of exactly what the origins of the event were about, is celebrating local makers and what they're doing. So to see that collaboration come along, and you guys were fast to jump on that thing too.
We were geeked. I was talking to Stephanie, our GM at Kalamazoo, and I was like, we need to do something. Who should we do something with? And she's like, Green Door. And I was like, yeah, why not? I mean, that should have been the first thing in my mind. It's like, and my wife and I have been there multiple times. I mean, we have twins at home, so we don't like get out like we used to, Yeah. But that place is fun. Like I'm newer to the spirit side. Like I've been in beer for forever, and I like a lot of stuff, but I like going into places like that, and it's like, give me something. Like show me what
Totally.
I should try,
Yeah,
like,
yeah, 100%.
and so that place was awesome. And Tyler was right on it. And I was like, we sent the email out and he's like, yup, let's do it. Let's set up a beer. So we literally sat down. We're like, what style should we do? And it was like a week later we had the beer in tank. It was crazy.
That's awesome.
That's moving, man. That's
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, it's cool to bring those two industries in Kalamazoo together, those two groups. I mean, like collabs are awesome, and talking to a lot of brewers over the years that we've been doing this, it seems like collabs are always kind of one of those things looked upon fondly. So to be able to branch out and get beyond just two breweries hooking up, that's really fucking neat.
Yeah, it's cool. We're trying to think of a name for it, and I'm like, I don't know. It's like beer and like spirits, they're like the same but different. And I was like, what about like reverse polarity? And I was like, I think it sounds cool. So that's the name of the beer, reverse polarity.
Right on.
Have they done any collabs with other breweries?
Not that I know of.
I know. I'm trying to think of anything, and I don't know if I can.
And they've undergone a pretty significant rebranding, and Tyler's a relatively new distributor in the length of the Green Door. So I imagine you'll see more and more things as Tyler kind of rolls out some of the things he's doing.
He does all the labels.
And
they look sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go ahead, John.
Yeah, going back to your original question, there are a number of new participants. So as you guys may recall, there's basically about 10 years of Kalamazoo, or 11 years of Kalamazoo Craft Beer Week, and then last year was when it sort of expanded to include some of our cider makers and distillers and wineries. But that it was an abbreviated sort of celebration just because of everything that was going on. So this time around, there's a significant degree of excitement, and there's, like we mentioned, a bunch of new spots. The Sangria Shop, which has actually been around for quite a while in Portage. So you can do the Portage roll, right? You can do the One Well, Latitude, Presidential, Sangria Shop, and hit them all in a row. Then you got to stay somewhere at the end of Portage Road. But they obviously do. Sangria Shop does a variety of sangrias, as you could imagine, but they also have their own coconut rum. So they're doing a bunch of peanut butter specials. And they do some interesting Puerto Rican cuisine kind of folded in all of that. So that's a fun little spot to check out. Valhalla, which I'm sure you guys are familiar with. They've got a couple of things going on, especially with LFG. I think that event sold out in like half a day. So there's some cool things going on there. The Kalamazoo Stillhouse, another one of our distilleries in town here. They've got some couple events planned there. What's the other one? I got my list here. That's why I keep looking down.
I'm looking at the website right now.
I'm looking over here because I'm scrolling through the list. Looking at
Yeah, and you can search by venue or whatever and beer styles too, but you just have to make sure you hit the little search button. Otherwise, it won't take you there. But anyway, so you can kind of filter through some things if you know what you're looking for. And we can throw the link up there if it's not already up there too.
We'll be dropping it in chat for sure.
We got some out of city people here too, huh? Right? B Nectar is doing a meat and cheese pairing. It looks like that's cool.
That's another fun thing. There are a slew of different pairings: ice cream and beer, which I think we've seen before. There's bacon and beer, sausage and beer. Oh, I think there's donuts in there. You mentioned cheese. So there's a little bit. Yeah. There's a whole bunch of other stuff. Crafted Copper is one of the other new spots. That's over by Revel and Roll on Stadium. So the old Craft Draft to Go, Irish pub, and now it's Crafted Copper. So it's kind of a craft cocktail focused bar, but they do have a number of craft beer handles if you'd rather go the beer route. But they do have a number of Kalamazoo and Michigan spirits there on that end. So then the only other one, well, Brick and Brian, we talked about it over in the Radisson, is the new fancy cocktail joint that's opened on the 20th. So they're new. And then I don't know if you guys have heard of Soil Friends or not. It's a farm in Augusta. Ben and Sarah Martin. They just started taking some of their cider, which they make on the farm, can on the farm, and then get out into stores. So I've seen a few displays out in Harding's, Meyer, and things like that. And it's the two of them. They got 4 kids, so I think a number of us have the whole family thing going on too. So you can imagine the amount of energy it takes to run around and get all that stuff out to market and do it on site. So
no, that's cool. So that one, I just looked it up. That's going to be February 5th from 12 to 7 at their farm.
Yeah.
You can find out. I just linked the events for Kalamazoo Craft Beverage Week in our chat.
Thank you.
That one's really, really, really cool. Hard ciders and chocolates at the farm.
Yeah, so they did some Christmas trees this winter. They've got some livestock out there, obviously a bunch of fruit, and then they've got a massive building or barn that they're sort of finishing out. They've got cornhole boards, bags, or whatever, some yard games and stuff like that. And they've got some fire pits outside on the farm. So I drove out there a couple of weeks ago to take a look around. So it's a fun addition. It's certainly different. There aren't a whole lot of farm-based activities on the slate. So,
but I mean, just scrolling through it. So first off, jumping back to Sangria Shop, like every little beer festival I would land at, whether it was Bonte Bach or any of the other little ones around here, I always would like search out that guy, and he'd usually get half of my tickets. That him and his wife make amazing shit. So it's really cool to see they've got a whole week's worth of events out here. So I love seeing the Sangria Shop. But I even saw you're bringing in shit from like Ironfish, which is up north. I mean, it's just neat to see this was really expanded out. And then I know, Chad, you said you didn't know a lot about what else is going on with Saugatuck, but we've got the list now.
Yeah, I seen something. I kept messing with my phone looking. I'd seen something on Facebook they had posted about it, and if there's stuff. I know there's a yoga thing one day. Yep. So there's some cool events. Unfortunately we had another collaboration set up with the KVCC brew program, and our chiller that handles our tanks went out the day that we were, and so we were straight up hot fermenting. It was like an Imperial Red IPA with rye in it, and it was just free fermenting at like 90 degrees. And I was like, this isn't going to happen. And I was like, we're not going to have time to like rebrew it in time. And so I got to get a hold of Brian Lindbergh, and we'll get them back over and we'll rebrew it. So
yeah, they were actually tentatively going to be on our show last week.
Nice.
But with the state of the world and whatever phase of the pandemic we're in, Valley has kind of closed down all of their tap events. So we're gonna hook up with them closer to fall, so we can do a show right before one of the Valley tap events. So
cool.
Really looking forward to hanging out with those guys.
Oh yeah, it's fun.
Yeah, but I just noticed they're not on here. That makes sense because they pretty much had to cease operations. But.
Yeah, they had plans to. They were going to do a couple different things during the course of the week, but they had to change course pretty quickly for all the reasons you just mentioned.
Yeah. We were, like I said, I reached out to them. I'm like, hey, because they had talked. They think they pinged me about doing the 17th. I'm like, are we still on for the 17th? And they're like, yeah, about that. No. So, but yeah, Saugatuck's got brews and yoga on the 30th, college night on the 1st. Pizza and Pint on the 2nd, along with Trashy Dog Bingo. I have no idea what the hell that is.
What?
Trashy Drag.
Trashy Drag.
Drag. Oh.
Yeah, we've done a couple drag shows down there. It's a hoot, I guess. I haven't been able to make it down, but man, it sounds fun. Everybody has a blast. Everybody wears wigs and shit. It's crazy.
Plus it's bingo.
Plus bingo. I mean, it's like
I've seen Brian. I've seen you in mascara before. You can
you
pull it
have.
off. You should knock it.
I don't have a wig, but I'll talk to Shanna.
Yeah, that'd be easy to find. Right, somebody's got one.
So, man, there's just so much. Yeah, there's so much going on this year, especially with the new breweries that we've got, and then all the distilleries and stuff. It's really cool to kind of see that shit playing out.
Yeah, one other thing to probably throw out there too is obviously a lot of locals will be bouncing around, but there are a number of overnight packages and specials. So if you have friends from outside the area that would like to come in and check it out for a night, as you know, downtown's got a couple different properties that are all participating with different specials. That's listed on the site as well.
Yep.
And one of the things that we all love about Kalamazoo and downtown Kalamazoo in particular is the walkability of everything. I mean, most Saturday afternoons, I'm usually walking around texting Chad, trying to beg him to show it works out.
It's been hockey season lately, and I'm reffing a lot of hockey games. It's like, sorry, bro, I'm not going to be able to do that.
Well, and here's the funny thing. When it gets 20 degrees, suddenly people don't want to walk around with me as much anymore.
That's the best time. It's like you're all hot from drinking double, triple IPAs at places, and it's like, we need to get outside and cool off.
Yeah, but for downtown, there's the Central Commons District, so you can.
Which is even better.
You're right. You can grab a to-go beverage. I think we probably talked about this before, and you can walk around. So that allows you to kind of get a little exercise in, I suppose, and hit up a couple stops, but, without having to worry about, having to get from point A to B. You can still be relatively responsible during that little chunk time there. And then, if you have too many, grab your hotel room or whatever, or catch an Uber, but there's a bunch of that out there. So, there's a bunch of different things you can do that are all in pretty tight proximity. So plan your week, be smart, be responsible, but invite a few friends if they want to come and hang out, because it should be a nice winter blast. So
yeah, no, it's very cool. Yeah, the site we linked absolutely will take you all that. They have the lodging, they have the list of events, links to taxis and ride shares. Be responsible. But yeah, that's usually in the past. You're right. It's always been kind of fun just to kind of bar crawl down through Kalamazoo, but we'll see what the weather's like this time.
I mean, not that it's any consolation, but I did just look that up. It's supposed to be decent.
Right on.
At least over the weekend so far. So it's, at least sunny, where it's, I'm knocking on every bit of wood that I can. It's supposed to be pretty good. So I know my parents are coming down, and we plan on going out and hitting a few things on Saturday or Sunday, whenever they decide they're coming down. So hopefully I'll see a bunch of you out there.
So John, do you have any big event that you're looking forward to most?
Well, that was perfect timing, because I was about to ask if you mind if I do a shameless plug.
Yeah,
I was just going to ask which one. What does everybody want to go see?
Oh, hold on. Yeah. It's a little heavy.
Uh-oh.
Oh, what is that?
What is this?
Kalamazoo Beer Cup.
Yeah. Is it?
I don't know if I've ever seen it before.
I'm going to drop this on my computer. I better not. So it's as heavy as I'm making it sound, but we started this a couple years ago. Haven't been able to do it in quite a while, but basically it's an event we hold every 3 months at the Radisson, at Old Burdick's in the Radisson. Excuse me. What we do is we'll pick a style of beer and then invite 4 to 5 Kalamazoo area breweries to present their take on that style. And then people buy tickets to the event. They get a whole appetizer spread, and then you get your flight of this one style of beer. You may know which breweries, or a couple of the breweries that participate, but you won't actually know which beer is which. And then you kind of cast your votes for your favorite 1 through 5. So we've done a number of different styles. We did porter, lagers, bourbon barrel aged stouts. We did hazy IPAs, and a few others. And then basically the brewery that gets the most favorites, because we're not doing it like a contest, they're all our favorites, but so they'll cast their votes, and then the winning brewery will get to keep this gargantuan beast, which for the better part of 2020 and 2021 was in the basement of Saugatuck Brewing Company.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah, that was for barrel aged stout.
Yeah,
you guys have the longest streak then, right?
I wouldn't call it a streak. It's more like gap between last time it was done.
John,
longest hostage situation.
Do you actually engrave the winning brewery on that somewhere?
Not as of yet. This costs a heck of a lot more than I anticipated, so we're still trying to pay off this trophy, and eventually we'll get another layer and get them all. I've got it all written down, but yeah, we'll eventually add the layer and have have the winning brewery for that style listed on there. So one of the, I mean, we talked about Chad already taking home the title at one point when we did the bourbon barrel aged stouts. We also did our hazy IPA one, and one of my favorite nights of doing this. So basically it's 20, 30 people or as many are willing to show up. We'll come in there, and we have some prizes too. Some of the locals want to, show what they know and say, oh, I know exactly what brewery made this. And then if they're right, they get a koozie. If they're wrong, we all
nice.
mock them endlessly.
As you should.
Yeah. But what's we fashioned it after sort of the Stanley Cup of area beer. There are people who have taken photos pretending to drink out of it. I don't know if they've actually gone that far. I've got some good ones of him over at Territorial with it. But anyway, when we did the Hazy IPA Kalamazoo Beer Cup, Final Gravity had been in their downtown Kalamazoo location for a little bit, but I was probably around 9:30 or 10 o'clock when we finished all the voting or whatever it was, and their Woohoo Poo Poo ended up winning the Hazy IPA for that night. And given the proximity of Old Burdick's to Final Gravity in downtown Kalamazoo, it made for a pretty easy block hike up to Final Gravity with this trophy. And so 17 or 18 people that were hanging out with us that night walked over to Final Gravity, and Kevin and everybody was there. So we handed the trophy off. There was a bunch of photos and a bunch more woohoo poo poo. So anyway, for the first time in a long time, we're bringing that back as part of Beer Week. So that Thursday, February, I should know this, 4th,
4th.
Yeah,
I went to Kalamazoo Public Schools. Math is not good for me.
3rd.
Yes.
Thursday, February 3rd.
Yep. So we'll be bringing it back. So yeah, sign on up and show us what you know. We're doing Imperial IPAs for this round. So show up and get all warm and toasty.
Glad I found out about that a little too late.
What's that?
So I'm glad I found out about that style just a little bit too late.
Yeah. But and this year we're trying to expand it around a little bit more too, and get a bunch of other area friends involved. So we've got a couple first time. We can't have you taking this trophy for another 18.
No. I just that's one of my favorite styles of beer. That's the only thing. It's like I'm actually I'm gonna rebrew the double IPA I did back in August. I'm gonna brew it on Friday down in Kalamazoo.
Oh, nice.
So it's like, oh man, I'm just too late.
Well, if people seem to warm to the idea and keep coming back, hopefully we can do more than one every 3 months. But we kind of want to test out, see how it goes, because there's a little concern, obviously, with COVID and people, a bunch of people in one room and
gatherings,
the whole nine. So that logistically and safety wise, we just decided to pause it until everybody felt comfortable with it. So it's exciting to have it back.
No, that is awesome. So it's going to be, I'm trying to find it. It's going to be February 3rd. Where is it going to be at?
It's at Old Burdick's.
It's old. Okay, there it is. Kalamazoo Beer Cup Imperial IPA Showcase at Old Burdick's Bar and Grill from 6:30 to 8 p.m. on Thursday, February 3rd. So, yeah, no, that's awesome. One thing I have to call out, because we're all homebrewers here, so there is one thing that is better than the Kalamazoo Beer Cup, and that is the Michigan Beer Cup.
Yeah.
So I just want to make point that out, that the three of us are part of keepers who won the Michigan Beer Cup this year. So
yeah, I saw that on Facebook. Congrats, boys.
You should,
boys and girls. Excuse me. I have not made it to a meeting yet there.
Oh, it's all good. But I would really love to see some kind of homebrew competition incorporated into this. Homebrew built Kalamazoo beer scene.
That's an idea.
Good old Larry.
Just throwing it out there, John.
That would be cool. You know what else I would love to see in Kalamazoo at some point is have a bunch of the brewing programs in either the state or the Midwest, and eventually maybe the country, come here. Maybe it's part of Beer Week or whatever, but have a networking workshop, other stuff, and then just kind of enjoy Kalamazoo beer, but get to learn a little bit about what that program's doing. Then what some of the graduates are doing, and then all that the history that overlaps with just beer and Kalamazoo in general, and kind of toot our own horn for a little bit and show it off to a bunch of folks. But
no, I think it would be awesome.
Yeah, that'd be absolutely amazing.
We're the real beer city.
Yeah,
Grand Rapids.
Grand Rapids. Oh,
Yeah. Speaking of grabbing a title and holding it on, stop voting for it and stick theirs, right?
KVCC took a GABF medal this year, didn't they?
Yeah,
yes, they did.
they did. It was I brought you a can of it, didn't I? It was
Oh, that was that
Beer was
sour.
delicious.
that was that sour I brought you. Yeah, that was their
Yeah.
GABF medal winner. That was great beer.
I can't remember. Was it a Goza or was it a Berliner?
Yeah.
I can't remember.
No, it was a Goza.
Okay,
I
it was
wanna
like
say it had
strawberry and
hibiscus.
something.
Strawberry hibiscus, I think.
That's
Yeah.
what, dude. That beer is so
Yeah.
good.
No, it's great seeing what they're doing. We've had a couple of people that have participated in the program on. We had Ellie Madsen from Five Shores Brewing. She's a graduate of the program, and I think now she's on the board or involved in on the advisory board of the program. And yeah, they're turning out some great brewers. It's an awesome program. Super really looking forward to having them on and talking to them.
Yeah.
She's Five Shores head brewer now, isn't she? Didn't she get a promotion last year?
She did.
Or a few or something?
She did.
Yeah.
Five Shores head brewer. I had a KVCC sign somewhere behind me, but I don't anymore.
I don't know. I'm rocking their hat tonight. I got that
nice.
at the Homebrew Fest. Yeah.
Chad, is there any? I know with Twins, it's hard. Besides your own collab event, is there anything that you're looking forward to this week, or have you even had a chance to look at the schedule?
I'm pretty geeked. I am geeked to go check that out. I'm also kind of curious about the beer and yoga, not just to say our places, but I should probably start doing yoga or something. I mean, skating. I play hockey, referee hockey. It's like I need like less sports that are beer drinking and like more like activities. And I'm like, oh, cool. Let's do yoga. And then I'm like, oh, you can drink beer while you do it. I was like, this is awesome. But no, I just kind of usually wing it. I'll look like day of and be like, what's going on today? And then it's just like, cool, we're going to that. Or, hey, let's go try to do this. Or in years past, we would plan it out. We'd sit there, it's like, all right, here's the list. Let's go check this out. Let's go check this out. And then it's like, yeah, okay, that's probably going to be really busy. And, we can't even do that because maybe you had to buy tickets for it. So, I don't know. It's just cool. It's fun to, especially being in the industry. It's just fun seeing all your buddies from different places, that come down and everything. So it should be fun.
Yeah, no, I was scrolling through this and just to give some more love to Green Door since they couldn't make it here. I see they're doing a Gin-tacular event at Central City Tap House on the 29th. And
Gin-tacular. I thought you said like Gin-tacular.
That's what I thought too. But we're talking
I feel like I've gotten
alcohol.
back into gin lately, and so I'm going to have to go down and check that out. I'm looking forward to it.
What's that kind of gin that you like? It's like a European
My
kind of
favorite
gin or
thing
something?
is Old Tom bourbon barrel gin beer made over in Fenville. I think it's called Liberator.
Okay.
I found it during COVID, and it got me through COVID.
It's a bourbon barrel gin.
Yeah, barrel aged gin, not bourbon barrel. Sorry, just barrel aged gin.
Oh, I was like, whoa!
Yeah,
I was like, that would be some wild flavors. I'm like, I gotta try that.
No, you talk about barrel so much, and I think I just associate it with bourbon.
it just rolls
it's
off
just a
the
barrel
tongue.
aged gin.
Yeah.
My bad.
I'll have to check that out. I've been getting into gin a bit more myself.
Yeah, Liberator Old Tom gin. Green Door has a barrel aged gin that is also very tasty. But this event looks like they've got 4 or 5 different gins that they're going to be doing some things with down at Central City Tap House. So that was fun.
One other interesting note on Green Door, I was in there, I had a tour group just last weekend, I guess it would have been. And they mentioned to me that their spirits are now available on Spirit Hub. I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with that platform, but you can now purchase Green Door spirits and then legally ship them. So if you have any friends you want to share that, the cider whiskey that we were talking about earlier, or the gin they've got, you can now buy some and send some. I've got a buddy of mine out in Colorado that keeps asking about Michigan spirits. it's always a tricky thing to try to figure out how to do that. So
yeah, I know. I saw Brandon mention it earlier. Green Door, their blueberry liqueur. They've won like several awards for that, I think.
Really?
Yeah.
Didn't know. That's awesome.
What's Amaro?
Amaro is a botanical. It's not a bitters, but it's like a aperitif type style.
What's an aperitif? Yeah.
Thanks, Brian. Google it. Hold on.
Culture yourself.
Let me Google that for you. No, it's an aperitif. It's like Camparo or.
I don't know what that is either.
I don't know what that is.
Jesus Christ! It's herbal based liqueurs that are used to add a bitterness or bitter note to drinks.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yourself.
I always thought an aperitif was like a mini appetizer or something that you add. I don't know. It's like, that's what it sounds
like. A cigarette.
Yeah, not on there. Can be used to do that. Anyway. All right, back to this shit. So, other big news for Chad. So, Chad, you guys are getting ready to move down the street, right?
We are. All the talk of, it's so nice to be able to, wander around downtown, and there's so many spaces right here. It's like, well, we're kind of stuck over by Oranby Hayes. Nothing wrong with a car dealership, but it's not the closest location. So it's like, oh, hey, there's this building's for open for rent, and I was like, well, let's go down there. So yeah, we're moving into OP, the old OP building.
That's awesome. Cool. I'm excited for you guys, man. That's a great spot.
I love that spot. I thought it's right there on the corner. It's
wonderful history to the building as well.
Oh yeah,
lots
of Haymarket building.
Yeah, beautiful bar in there. So I think we talked a little bit about this before. So you're currently brewing on a 5-barrel system down at Saugatuck. But when you move into OP, they left the 7-barrel behind, right?
All the stuff is there. Yep.
Wow.
Have you gotten a chance to go in there and check it out yet?
Yeah. We've gone in and taken a look at everything. You could brew on it tomorrow probably, but I'm going to go in there as soon as, because we don't start paying rent until March 1st. So I don't know the legalities of like if the license is ready, how all that's working. Mm-hmm. I'm probably more than welcome to go in there and clean anything I need to clean or anything. But I don't know when I can start brewing on it. That would be the biggest thing. Because the majority of everything that is going to be served there will have to be brewed there. Right. So I'll be busy.
So 2 questions regarding that. One, are you going to leave the giant glass facing?
Oh yeah, you got to be in the fishbowl.
So we can harass you while you're brewing. Okay.
Yeah, we're already talking about putting a sign that says like "Don't feed the brewer," and I'm gonna be like,
"Don't tap the glass."
Yeah, I'll just be like,
"You're gonna go in there your first day. Brand's gonna have his face pressed against."
Oh
yeah, absolutely.
And I'll just be like, "What?"
Yeah. Are you guys gonna keep OP's tradition of the ghost tap going?
Ghost tap.
You can say no. I don't know if I really drink that beer.
I'm a fan of all beer styles for what they are. I'll drink one, but I may not order a second. There's 2 beer styles that I am not a fan of. Rausch beer. I do not want a bunch of smoke in beer.
Yeah. And
I don't like pepper beers. Now that's me. Obviously there's a beer for everybody. Yeah, why not? That would be fun. And I'm pretty good friends with Dan Kiplinger, their ex-brewer, and Ghost chilies. That's I would come in all the time, and he'd just be like, "Oh yeah, here, dude, you got to try this. This, Ghost of stout chocolates." And I'm just like, "Dude, I can't do it." He's like, "It's only like a 3. It's only a 3 out of like 10. It's not a big deal." And I'm like, "Okay." And I'm just like, "Dude, what is this?" And he's just, but they are good. I like to cook with beer like that. I'm not usually one who drinks that stuff.
I'm
weird. I'd ask. Yeah.
But yeah, yes, we'll do one. We can always split off batches and be like, "Oh, here's a 6-barrel. Try this. We put the whole jug of capsaicin in there. You try it."
Ghost Pepper New England IPA.
So the three of us are actually all in the Kalamazoo hot sauce enthusiasts. Check us out.
Oh, sweet.
So I mean, we love our hot shit. We love our hot peppers. But I'm with you, dude. I don't want to drink a glass of that shit.
I love hot sauce. I love fermentation is in my blood, but it's like,
yeah,
I want that on chips and salsa and maybe a taco.
Yep.
Yeah.
Not in a beverage. It's like you pairing food with beer, and all of a sudden you're like, oh, you know what we should? These are spicy chicken wings. You know what we should? Mix with that IPA, and all of a sudden you're like, oh my god, it's so much hotter. It's like, yeah.
No, that was we started Kalamazoo hot sauce enthusiasts, I think, right before COVID.
Yeah.
I need to join that.
Absolutely, you should join it. It's not super active right now, but we're hoping to get it back. But we started it. We had one get together at Distant Whistle hosted us where we had like 20 guys. We brought in a whole ton of hot sauces.
There were like 60 bottles. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
It was fun. You got to try all this stuff and hang out. And then COVID happened, and that pretty much, just wrecked the ability to go around and share some hot sauce. So now that COVID on the downslope, I've talked to Andy at Distant Whistle. We're he's interested in hosting again. We're looking for. Be cool to get some places in Kalamazoo to do, a hot sauce share.
Could be a beer week.
Hey, I know a place.
Could be.
There we go. Yeah.
And you do. You're right. Maybe next year.
I know a guy.
Less restricted. It's a pretty cool club group. We talk about just general hot sauces in general, but definitely fermentation.
Sure.
Fermentation is
because there's a lot of guys in there that are also home brewers, and a lot of the hot sauces are fermented as well. So it's a lot of homemade stuff, a lot of craft hot sauces, if you will. But it's fun. I enjoy it.
But no, it's gonna be super cool that you guys are going into that space so it doesn't get wasted. It's such a cool building, great location. It's really cool to see Saugatuck going in there.
More central within the
exactly.
What's the downtown walking drinking area called?
What's it called, John?
You have district.
Central Commons area,
okay.
But I think Social District is kind of default. The other cool thing about that little strip there, that Bates Alley. I don't know if you guys have seen that in the evening hours, but they've got some nice lights that
it's a cool spot.
Mural down there, and on the right night they'll have DJs and live bands. So
was it Beats on Bates is what they used to call it? Yeah, Wednesday
nights. So, but people bring their dogs all the time. They'll have bags out, and people just stroll up and down there, and all those back patios. If if it's a decent night, they're hopping. So it's kind of a sneaky little spot because it's not, you don't quite see it unless you make that little curve around the bend. But there's so much right there. I mean, green, Tempo Vino, Green Top, LFG, everything. It's all right there. So it's cool little strip.
Right on. Well, we are definitely looking forward to Kalamazoo Craft Beverage Week.
You caught yourself.
You've been good. Yeah. You've been good.
He said it early on, and I was just like, "That's one."
That's fun. I miss it. I used to know. Like I used to hang out with Jenny Doan only during Kalamazoo Beer Week. She would call me to rep breweries when a brewery had a person not show. Yeah. So I do miss that. Like just coming down and lying my ass off to people, telling them I think I've repped Abita.
Nice.
Right. Nice. I told her I'd do whatever shit she needed me to do. Anderson Valley.
Nice.
One year they even presented. I've got my Kalamazoo Beer Week plaque up on my shelf because they presented that to me. Bullshitting. So I love it. It's close to my heart. John, if you know of anybody that their rep doesn't show up, let me know.
Yeah.
Nice.
I can bullshit my way through the rest of it. So check out KalamazooCraftBeverageWeek.com and check out the events coming January 29th through February 6th.
And I think the Facebook page for Kalamazoo Craft Beverage Week has a bunch of, some giveaways. I think there's something going on right now with the Shakespeare's gift certificate or gift card. And I think there's a few other things that are going to get thrown out as we kind of build up the week. So keep an eye on that platform too for a chance to win stuff.
Right on.
I like stuff.
Well, thanks,
Everybody
guys,
stuff.
for coming and hanging out with us. It's been cool. Really looking forward to this year. And Chad, sounds like you're doing good things at Saugatuck. Can't wait to get in your new space.
I'm geeked, man. This another beautiful day at the office.
Right
Did you say when roughly you think things will be up and running? Like we can come
And
in
I
for
hope
food and drink?
sooner than later. That's the thing. Like I said,
Okay.
we'll start paying rent early March. I'm hoping by like April. I mean, it's
Yeah.
I mean, we have serving tanks in the basement, so got to brew the beer, set it down to the serving tank, and then you pour from there instead of like lugging kegs up and down the stairs because the cooler's in the basement. So I'll have some brewing to do, and I'll need a little time to brew because there's 3 fermenters there, and you can only brew 3 times and then get it out. So
Yep.
We got a last minute question. Do you know? I don't know if you know. Well, do you know if dogs would be allowed in the outside area?
I do not know.
All right.
If as soon as I can find out, I can let you guys know. But that's, I mean, we're not even in the space yet. So I don't believe they're able to be at our current location. I just work in the brewery though. I make the beer, so.
Hell yeah.
But no, hey, I got a dog myself too, and it'd be fun to take him, bring him out on the patio. So.
Yep.
Right on.
Yeah. You may not be able to do it at the patio itself, but along Bates Alley.
In Bates Alley, you can.
Yeah, I was gonna say I thought there was
because of the commons area. I mean, you can walk your dog up and down the street. So just send Libby in to get a beer, Matt, and then you're good to go.
Just a little note on the collar. It's just like beer for my dad, please.
Yeah.
Right on, guys. Well, it's been awesome. We can't wait. We'll see you down there. Make sure you check out the Kalamazoo Beer Cup and hit up. Where are you guys doing the Green Door collab?
Burdick's as well. Yep.
Burdick's
and Radisson as well. Yep.
Awesome. Cool. All right, guys. Well, cheers,
Thanks, guys.
Thanks a lot.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Cheers, boys.